Hello everyone, it's Banshin here. Welcome to another CherryTree video. This one is going to be basically me talking about the state of the game, how I see things have gone since trading has been introduced, where the game is going, what is going to happen in the near future regarding updates and things that are changing. So it's a bit of an informative video, but most of it is my opinion, and my opinion I've got through various different mediums after seeing different people's opinions and knowing things like what's happening behind the scenes, which a lot of players don't really get to see. So I thought, well, while I'm doing that, I may as well, show you something interesting. And I probably should change this to Internal Berserker Ring. You will also notice that there's a little bit of music going in the background. Can I just say a big shout out to customer support. If you don't know who that is, he is in charge of the new Amarang guild. It's on a different server at the moment, but soon when everything sort of gets pieced together and, I don't know, guilds sort of come into play, you'll be able to have a look at that guild as well and be part of it. There's some really cool stuff happening over there. He's put a lot of time and effort into the things he does. And I will be playing a couple of different things that he has given me permission to, because it's his music, I guess. Yeah, so enjoy that too. I'll be doing some more shout outs to him. He's actually, I'll keep it as a surprise. But there is something else that I will share with you, which I just found absolutely hilarious. I was at work and he sent it to me and I was in tears, right? Laughing. So, okay, so let me get straight into this. So we'll go and fight. Okay, now I've forgotten. I haven't done this for a while. So Capina. Oh yeah, you get your rod and your knife of Capina. Haven't seen people use the rod or the knife of Capina for a while. Now, Adam has shared with the community managers the trade logs recently, so we get to see what's happening. Okay, and we don't see a lot of these trades for rods and knives of Capina much anymore. Seem to see quite a bit of rings and materials, lots of materials, which I found interesting. I would have thought there'd be other stuff, but I don't know what I was expecting. Book of Arun, now I haven't seen that being traded forever. Same with stone tablets. Jinko logs, heaps of that going around now. So yeah, you can get some from here. And, just your usual other stuff. So that's Capina. Now Capina, let's look at the health really quickly. 5 million, nothing too exciting. Feroxy. Okay, Feroxy is the melee king, let's call him that. You can get a shield of Feroxy, gloves of Feroxy, pretty good. You can get a Berserker ring, some of the other stuff there. I don't know, what's his health? 6.5 million. Oh jeez. And he hits for 40. No thanks, and I'm dead. Oh goodness sakes! I think I'm gonna wimp out while I do this video and just go with Capina. How much does Capina hit for? 16. That's a lot better. And I'm hitting a reasonable amount as well. Oh, you know what? If that's the case, I might put on... Okay, should I put on the Death Princess rune? No, what I'll do is I'll put on my Divine Potions and get the double damage working there. So that should hopefully get some stuff. Okay, now, let me talk. Something very interesting today. Someone had commented after I had spoken. Well, I basically went into the Ask for Help channel and someone had said, they're at a stage of the game now where they don't know what to do. They posted their stats. They pretty much got 99 everything, 130 level everything. Base camp, I think, was 47, etc. And my comment basically was, I said, look, you need better gear, because they only had King's gear, right? I said, you need better gear, so, go grab some Elven gear, go make some Elven gear. That should be your next step. And they said, thank you, etc. But someone else popped up because I did mention that they had reached late game. Now, late game is not end game, okay? Late game and end game is an enormous jump. In fact, I would say there needs to be something else in there, right? So late game, maybe late game or something, late game squared, I don't know, before end game, because end game really is where I am. End game is just where you just beat everything into smithereens. Now that person, someone else made a comment. They said, you are very much, you should start a new account and see how hard it is for new players. And they said that I'm very much detached from, you know, the rest of the community, is how they play, etc., etc. I took it as constructive criticism. You know, everyone's got their opinions, and it's probably true. But one thing that I have to say is that I started this game back end of January. Okay, and believe me, the game was totally different. It was much harder to get stuff. For example, there was no gods items. Okay, so you wanted to farm, you wanted your base camp level up, you had to farm it yourself. You had to get the Scythe of Demeter, because that's the only thing that was available. If you wanted eggplants and use the Scythe of Demeter, that's 1 hour. Okay, there was, you know, minimal extra stuff that helps you. There was no wishing well. So the probabilities of things dropping were as if your wishing well is 0 right now. Okay, we didn't have any of that. The trading system hadn't been introduced. Okay, you couldn't just ask for base camp items. So I was pretty like on the defensive, and I thought, no, hang on a second. When I started, things were way harder than they are now. But conversely, I feel for the early mid gamers. And the reason for that is mainly because the trading system has made it really difficult for them. So why? Well, the price of things are so high that if you're an early or a mid gamer, it's going to be really difficult for you to get a basic item like a Ring of Speed. Okay? A Ring of Speed, when trading opened, when trading started, was going for about 8,000 gold. Okay, it's now something ridiculous. I don't even know what the price is, but it's in, I think it's like 50,000, 100,000, 200. I don't know what it is. It's just ridiculous right now. So if you're an early gamer, it is really hard for you to get those items. But hey, when I was an early gamer, we didn't have these items either. Okay, these items didn't. I mean, when I say these items, I mean we didn't have the luxury of being able to trade them. Okay, we had to earn these out, so we had to hope that they dropped. Okay, so, you know, I feel like, yes, I have been through everything. I've been through stages of the game where it was really difficult. And I remember it was very hard to get to base camp 50. Can I tell you that it is way harder than it is now to get to base camp 50? Okay, because we had to do everything without the trading system. And when it went from whatever it was, I think it was 25 to 50, or was it 25? I can't even remember now, to 50, we had a bit of a race between the internal testers because we got the update first. Yeah, and I think it was Ace. Ace was the first person to actually get to 50. And I thought I was going to do it, and I was like, oh, Ace did it. I think I got it about 4 or 5 days later because, you know, you had to grind. And, you know, the stuff that you have to get was hard to get. Like, it was really hard to get, guys. Like, try farming the dragon tails, you know, back then when you had no trading. You had to just farm everything yourself. 5,000 dragon tails or whatever it is. Like it took a couple of days for you to get one base camp level purely farming that item. So things have really changed. Now, I appreciate that, you know, the time that when I was, you know, maybe early mid gamer, I do appreciate that maybe there wasn't as much stuff to do in the game. So we did have, like, we could focus on one thing. So for example, if you wanted to do base camp, we could focus on base camp. If you wanted to, get your quests done. You could focus on that. Now there's just so many different things in the game, okay? Like fighting gods, for example. I mean, going back, we didn't even have fletching. We had nothing, no archery. There was no Canosian stuff. There was no, like, the best item in the game, I remember when I started, you get ready for this? It was the Mystic Dagger. I remember Adam just introducing the Mystic Dagger. Everybody wanted the Mystic Dagger. We're trying to work out how to get this Mystic Dagger, and it boosted your stats up quite a bit. Now I'm going to exit this for a minute because I want to show you something. So the Slayer dungeon, when I started, I was getting one hit by the Ancient Tribal Leader. Okay, I could not fight the Ancient Tribal Leader, and I struggled through most of the other stuff too. There was no Realm of Kings, there was no Immortal Realm, there was no Kingdom, none of this stuff here. Okay, you basically had to work your way through. I skipped the Abandoned Village, caves, and all this sort of stuff skipped. But have a look at the things that are available now. Okay, so the fletching station wasn't there. Okay, and we didn't have any of the other stuff to help us. So for example, if I'm going to go to potions, there was no golden touch potion when I started. So you couldn't really get gold that way. Okay, Avalanche didn't exist. Divine Protection obviously didn't exist. Like, it was really hard to do, and getting enough lightning potions for the base camp is difficult now, let alone when there was no trading when I was doing it. So the game has changed quite a bit. Okay, your market trader, the inventory size was maybe a half or a third of what it is now. Okay, spending your gold, there was none of this stuff. From memory, there was Cook X, and oh geez, I can't remember, but there was no Burn X because there was no forestry. There was no cancel crops. I don't think there was any cancel crops. Yeah, that's a new feature, and there was no Fletch X. Okay, so we really had to get all this stuff ourselves. You had to pay for the, with gold, right? So without trading, you're probably thinking, well, how do you get gold? That was really tricky. It was very hard to do back then. Okay, the quests helped us. We used to get gold through quests. All right, and there was the discovery is exactly the same. Nothing really has changed there. All right. There was, however, from memory, if we went to the Slayer dungeon now, I can't remember if it was Orc Captain or Necromancer, but someone dropped EEPs, okay, the Extreme Energy Potions. So we were able to do a lot more discovery and all that sort of stuff, right? There wasn't as much pets either. The completion cape, that just didn't exist. That's a relatively new feature. And, all your things like the forestry wasn't there, and your mines, well, there was none of this stuff at the bottom. All right. So you basically were mining what I've got on the screen now if you were going to mine. Okay. Now I'm going to take you to this screen here. Okay. Now tell me what that does. Right. Now there was no wishing well. There was none of this stuff when I started. Okay. There was no Fisher, none of this speed up business. You literally had to spend the whole time as if you were a new player. Okay. So things took so much longer. The wishing well is huge. The introduction of the wishing well changed a lot of stuff, especially with things like this. Your treasure hunter, okay, your golden touch. Well, that didn't exist. Golden touch, the rates changed a lot. And this one here, your secrets, there was none of this, right? So it was harder to find the secret rares. Okay. There was also no off. So when I started, there was no idling feature. Okay. So if you're offline, you're offline. Bad luck. When you come back, you don't get any online rewards. So a lot of different things happen there. Okay. There wasn't obviously fletching. The whole Slayer system was different. Okay. It's nothing like it is now. Okay. You're fishing, if you wanted to get some of these fish down here, okay, like the grove, for example, that wasn't 1 second. I think it was what was it, 8 or 12 seconds or something? No, which one was 12 seconds? I think it was this one. I can't remember. Okay. But yeah, but look, the game has changed a lot. And, you know, some of my thoughts on the system, how things have changed with the trading and what's been happening. You know, a little bit controversial here, but I have to say this, right? It's really sad that people feel, some people, and it's a very, very small percentage of people, the 99% of the community are absolutely wonderful human beings who play the game properly, who are fair, who help others, you know, just great people. And that's what makes this community, honestly, the best community that I've ever been involved with. And I've been playing games for a long time, guys. Okay, I'm not going to tell you my age, but let me tell you that I was around when the people didn't have mobile phones. Like, it was only people that had businesses had mobile phones. You never saw normal people walk around with a mobile phone, okay? So I'm talking 90s here, mid 90s, right? And during the time in the mid 90s, because I did a computer science degree, actually maths and computer science degree, right? At university, right? So that's pretty much when I started my gaming. Right? Before that, I used to play on the Commodore 64. I know you guys probably don't even know what that is. So I started on the Commodore 64. Google it, it's hilarious, right? But yeah, it just, you know, I've been gaming a long time, and the online gaming a lot too. I played heaps of online games, and never have I seen a community like this. I don't know what it is about CherryTree that brings everyone together the way it does, but like I said, absolutely wonderful bunch of people. Everybody is different. They come from all parts of the world. And people put the politics aside, that's probably my favorite part about this. Okay. You know, there's all sorts of difficult things happening around the world right now, but people just get along. Okay. People just get along. People from countries who are actually warring at each other, they get along because they have agreed to put their differences aside for this game. Okay. So, you know, I don't want to get political because I'm not about that, but someone did make a comment to me that, you know, two countries who are at war right now, everybody puts that aside in their channel, in their language channel, and just communicates as if they were just friends. That is the most heartening thing that a computer game, and when I say computer, I mean mobile, right? Because that's what we used to call them a long time ago. Okay, so a mobile game can bring people together who are warring. Like, absolutely brilliant, right? So the community is just fantastic. Absolutely wonderful community. But, sorry, there is a but. There's always going to be. Because no matter where you go, there is always that 1% of the population who just can't play fair. Okay? They feel like they just need to get ahead, and they are willing to do everything it takes to get ahead. So these are the people that are to blame for destroying the market, because the market wouldn't be the way it is if it wasn't for them. There has been leaked gold into the community, lots of dupe stuff, and, you know, unfortunately, even though we ban them, it's a little too late. Okay, we don't like banning people. We just wish everybody would play fair. Okay, and, you know, banning people is something that, you know, it happens because we care about the game, and we don't want people to feel like, hey, that's not fair. Why are they allowed to do it and we're sitting here playing properly? Well, they're not. They're not allowed to do it. Fact of the matter is, and this is what Adam has said many times, is he believes that they're just not good enough to play a game. Okay, because if they were good enough, they could get ahead playing fair. So they have to play not fair, right? Yeah, so look, having said all that, you know, the way that the community works in general is there's little pockets. You know, people have got their own little, you know, guilds, and people in their language channels have their own sort of, you know, friends there. And I know that people play it on different servers, etc. But at the end of the day, you know, we're all playing the same game. So we all do need to play it fair. Now, there's going to be some things introduced into the game in future that further combat this whole duping thing. Okay, and there's also going to be things that are introduced that make it a lot harder for players to do this. Now, those things will also, you will be happy to know, coincide with some problems that have happened in the game which will be fixed. So for example, sometimes people send gold or they've sent payment for something and it never arrives. Sometimes this is legitimately not fair. Sometimes this is fair. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Sometimes when people do this, their internet connection drops or something happens and the gold just doesn't come, okay? Or your payment doesn't arrive. But of course, sometimes, if you know what I mean, right? Yeah, so there's going to be a few things introduced into the game. Adam's, got it planned. It's been almost 3 weeks now since we've had an update. Adam was very unwell, then he went away. He's away now. So he's had time to work on stuff. So there will be some good stuff. Trading is going to change, okay? Had to get out of that, sorry guys. So I'm going to show you a message that Adam typed in general chat if you didn't already see it. So flash warning. There it is there. I just thought I'd snip it. So there you go. Okay, so the trade system will be a request-based system instead of gifting. Okay, so he believes it should prevent the majority of the dupes. Okay, there is a new ban system, prevents users changing their trade name once they've been banned. So that means that if somebody gets banned, they can't just log in somewhere else and change it. No way I'm going to disclose how that's going to happen. I'm not giving heads up to those people that want to do things like that, but yeah. And that's what's going to happen. And that's something Adam typed into general chat. Okay, so it wasn't a PM, as you can see on the 1st of November. Okay, getting back to this. Okay, so I don't want to make this video too long. I just thought I'd, give you some thoughts, my thoughts about where the game is at. I think that there's plenty to do for everybody. The early gamers, mid gamers, late gamers, end gamers. There's so much to do for everybody. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. If you're an early or a mid gamer, please enjoy the game, okay? Don't think that, when you're on Discord and you look at everybody and see what they're trading, and don't feel left behind, okay? Just enjoy the early game for what it is. We run plenty of giveaways. There's plenty of competitions. There's plenty of, that kind of stuff. So, you might strike it lucky every now and then. You might strike it lucky and that will help you. But as a lot of people have said before, when they've received duper gold, they have said, well, and they usually they send the gold to Adam and they show me the screenshot and they say, and I just tell them thank you for your honesty, because they're being honest, and their reply is, well, I don't want to wreck the game for myself. Now I'll have a think about that. I'm going to let that sink in for a bit. That's absolutely right. They're wrecking the game for themselves. If you just max out everything and jump from an early game to an end game, or a mid game to an end game, like, what is there for you to do? You have skipped a lot of the fun content that Adam has coded for you to play the game. There's no point getting to the very end of a game and going, yes, I've got there now, if you haven't worked hard for it. The satisfaction is not there. And it's really sad, because I don't know what these dupers get out of it, right? Maybe they feel power, or they feel cool, or whatever it is. It's just ironic. It's just ironic. Enjoy whatever stage of the game that you guys are at, okay? And I've got a few different videos planned, okay, because some fun stuff happening. I want to do some interviews with some community managers. That's been on the cards for a while, and you'll get to have a chat, about things with different people. And one of the other things I want to do, which I thought is really cool, I want to make you guys feel like you're being heard. So I'm going to, this is the plan, go into the suggestions thread and on Discord and talk through it. Basically open it up seeing what people suggest, talk through it, what I think about it, etc. And I'll be probably commenting on it, because I think that, like, sometimes you people write stuff and think that we just ignore it, but there is just so much to do. We do, when we get time, have a read through it. We think about it, we go, oh yeah, that's interesting. And I'm sure Adam does the same. Okay. And, you know, if one of us thinks that something is really, really cool, like an amazing idea, then we will just put that to Adam in a private message or in a community chat, etc. As just, you know, hey, did you see this, for example? We think it's a good idea. What do you think? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he's got to code it, right? So it depends on how easy it is to code. So I want to do that. I want to grab the suggestions, go through it, talk through it, and who knows, maybe we'll be able to grab a couple from there and actually make them happen, right? And yeah, that'd be great. So a few things happening in the next few months, next couple of months till the end of the year. Some people have asked about the next event. The next event is going to be the Christmas event. No, there's no Thanksgiving event, as someone pointed out. So it'll be the Christmas event. So get what you can from the Halloween event. Grab as much skip tickets as you need. Do what you have to do. And I recommend that you keep some of these pumpkin coins with you, saved for the Christmas event. They will carry over the pumpkin coins, okay? Because, you know, you're going to have all these new titles and stuff. It'd be nice to just hop straight into it. Whereas there it is, hop straight into it and grab the new titles, etc. Let's open a treat bag, just one. Ah, great. Okay, yeah, I do want to also do a video of me just opening all the treat bags at the same time because they will not carry over. So the treat bags don't carry over to the next event, but the pumpkin coins do. All right, so just keep that in mind. Okay, guys, that's it for the video. I'm really glad that you joined me, and I hope you got some, you know, interesting vibes from the video, some feedback. Once again, shout out to customer support, my friend, and he will hopefully be putting some extra stuff together, and I'll be displaying it in some future videos too. Okay, guys, until next time, see you later.